everybody? It's Davey from the 80s, and you are now entering the Cinema Chop Shop. So park your ass right there. Today, stop looking at me. All right, anyway, so today we're doing a special video where I am going to be ranking the Carrie films from worst to best. Now, if you don't know what the Carrie franchise is, where have you been living? You're probably living under a rock. So, I remember when I was younger, my older sister would love watching the Carrie movies, and we always watched the old one. And I remember when the second Carrie film came out, we were like, oh, we wanted to watch it, but we never got around to doing it. So I didn't watch Carrie II until I got a lot older. But here's the thing. So me saying it right now, you're probably thinking like Carrie films. Most people only know about two of the films, right? But there's actually four. There's a Carrie film from the 70s. There's the one with the remake with Chloe. There is a made-for-TV version like early 2000s. And then there was a Rage Carrie II that was in like the 90s, right? So there's four films. And what I'm going to be doing is ranking them from worst to best. And I'll be giving you why I feel like I placed them in that order. So let's go in with number 4, which is the 2013 Carrie remake with Chloe Moretz. Now, I really do like Chloe. Chloe played in Kick-Ass. She played in Let Me In. And honestly, I was super hyped to hear about her being casted as Carrie. But once I saw the movie, I kind of was sitting there thinking like, damn, like, she disappointed me. Like, she doesn't play a believable Carrie. Honestly, she doesn't look like a dork. Like, she looks like she can fit in with the cool kids, like, easily. Like, she came in, she got the little swoops and curls and shit in her hair. She looked like she could kick it with the cool crowd. Like, she doesn't look like a dork. Like, she needs to look like she has, like, lice and greasy hair and, like, you don't want to be anywhere near her. Chloe didn't look like that. Chloe looked like a regular girl that could kick it with any group that she wanted to. She was not believable as a dork. And that's just my opinion on that. Also, the poses that she chose to do when she was doing telekinesis, like her fake-ass Jean Grey poses and shit, that looked real stupid. I didn't like that. That looked real dumb. It annoyed the hell out of me. But I mean, on some pros, on like some positiveness to this movie, it does have some of the goriest kills that I have seen in any of the Carrie movies, especially the prom scene, like the Rampage prom scene, and the way that she kills the boyfriend and girlfriend in the car when they're charging her. That was pretty gory. Also, Julianne Moore does an amazing job as Carrie's mom, Margaret White. In my opinion, she honestly is one of the best Margaret White actresses that I've seen in all of these films. She does an amazing job, and hats off to her. That's probably like the only two pros of this movie. Other than that, it was like a huge disappointment. Chloe really let me down in that movie. So that's why I'm ranking that number 4. Number 3, The Rage Carrie II. Now, not too many people know about this film. They're like, not too many people know that Carrie had a damn sequel. All right. And when you see, and it's funny because when you watch a movie, it's like the girl's not even named Carrie. Her name is Rachel. But I digress. The positives in the movie are Emily Berg does a great job as Rachel, the new Carrie in the movie. She does a really good job at her. She kind of has that Fairuza Balk outsider look, especially like kind of. It seems like they kind of tried to copy Fairuza Balk's character image from The Craft, especially at the end of the movie. That's the vibe that I got. And this is the 90s, so it kind of is plausible that that was the direction that they were going. Amy Irving reprises her role as Sue, who was in the original 70s version of Carrie. So that was a cool little plus side. The movie has a decent story, and it borrows ideas from the original, and but it continues to stay original itself. So it's not like a complete carbon copy of the original Carrie, just made into a sequel. It kind of creates its own story. Like Carrie is being bullied, but it's not like she's being bullied because she is like the outcast. It's kind of like some other situations and other problems outside of it create this scenario in which she becomes the target towards all of this aggression. So it's not like she's being targeted because she's a dork. It's because of events that led up to it. So I like the idea how they tied it into the original. They had tidbits, same school. They mentioned Carrie White. and it's all in the same continuity. It's all in the same like world domain, but yet it's still an original story. Like I said, it has a great tie into the original. They make the telekinetic powers. They make it genetic to the white family bloodline, and I'm not talking about like white people. I mean like actually Carrie White. The last name of the family is White, so the white family bloodline carries the power of telekinesis. I thought that was cool, and how Rachel is Carrie's half sister in a way. That was pretty awesome. The kills in this movie are pretty solid, but the small amount of practical effects that they used were pretty cool. I think they threw like a fire stick or the little fire poker through somebody's head or something, but it was funny because you could see that it's rubber because it's bending. But other than that, the CGI in this film is terrible, horrible. But it's the 90s, so like what else can you expect? Like that CD scene was terrible. Like the flying disc CD thing was whack. It was honestly done better in Hellraiser 3, I believe. I also didn't like the whole, like, when she used her power, she got that weird-ass tattoo, that thorny vine thing that wrapped around her. That was pretty whack. I wasn't really feeling that. That was pretty lame. They could have kind of did without that. So that's my number 3. And moving on, number 2, the 2002 made-for-TV version of Carrie. All right, so for those of you that didn't know, that's the one that's on Netflix right now. So a lot of people click that one on Netflix thinking that it's the one from the 1970s. That is not. That is a made-for-TV version that came out in 2002. It's a remake, all right? The one thing about this film that deviates away from the other two Carrie films is that this one sticks more to the book. So a lot of the things in this movie are taken from the book. It's more true to the book, and that's a plus side for this. Also, Angela Bettis does a pretty damn good job as Carrie. She has a look down pat. She looks grungy and dirty and grimy, and like honestly she looks like that girl that's going to give you piojos, you know? So you feel like you have to like kind of stay away from her, or you're going to have like a fucking lice and shit at the end of the day. So she's a very believable outsider in this film, and honestly she has the Carrie look down pack. She's very dorky. The one thing I didn't like about what Angela Bettis did to the Carrie character is that she has this damn, like, she rolls her eyes when she's doing the little Carrie thing, and it looks really ridiculous. It looks like she's struggling to take a shit. I wasn't too much a fan of that. Or it looks like she's just like, I don't know, having some alone time with herself. I have no clue, but yeah, like, it looks really stupid. Like, it looks real, real dumb, and it annoyed the hell out of me. Patricia Clarkson is not the best Margaret White. Honestly, out of all the Margaret Whites that have been that are going to be mentioned today, she plays one of the worst ones. And it's not in the sense of like, as in she's a bad actor. It's just that compared to the other two Margaret Whites, she's my least favorite. She does a pretty good job as Margaret White, but at the end of the day, it's not like she like knocks it out of the park and just like, damn, like she did a amazing performance. She was okay, but it wasn't something that's going to make me like, oh my God, she's the best. The CGI in this movie is also pretty damn bad, but this is a movie from the early 2000s, so it's a lot better than the CGI used in the Rage Carrie, but still, it's still pretty bad. I think there's like an asteroid scene or something where she makes it rain asteroids or meteorites or something, and it looks freaking terrible. It looks really bad. It looks like, I can't even explain it. It looks like they swapped it out of an old dinosaur documentary book where they're trying to like reenact the freaking comet scenes destroying the dinosaurs. The prom scene in this remake is good, but it's not as good as the original. But it's still pretty decent. Moving on to my number 1, there's only one movie left, so what do you think? Obviously, the best one is the first Carrie movie that was made, which is the 1976 version, starring Cece Speckett. Sissy is honestly the best Carrie, hands down. She has the look down pack. She has that timidness down pack, and it's everything that you expect to look for in one of those outsider characters. She just looks like a dweeb, and she looks like somebody people would target in order to harass in high school, especially in a high school setting. She looks exactly like that kid that people will pick on because she just looks so weak and timid. So she was very believable as this Carrie White figure. Also, Piper Laurie does an amazing job as Carrie's mother, Margaret White. It was a real hard choice for me to pick either between um, the one from the Chloe remake, or I think Julianne and her. It was really hard, but I had to edge it to Julianne in order for this particular discussion. Um, the cinematography in the prom scene in this Carrie movie is amazing. The whole how it panels out, and you just have that straight shot of Sissy's face, like looking all bug-eyed and like she's just ready to massacre people. I love it. I don't think anybody will ever be able to top her performance as Carrie, especially in that prom scene when she goes berserk. This film has some of the best use of practical effects. The water hose scene, the way that the things are falling, it's very believable. It doesn't look fake. Like sometimes you run into these Carrie remakes and they use CGI for certain things and it makes things look fake and unauthentic and it takes the realness away from it. Um, when you watch the original, you still see the practical effects that they use, and it makes you feel like this is really happening or it could really happen. So it keeps that realness to the film. Like you don't want to watch a movie and be like, damn, this shit is fake. You want to watch that movie and still be engaged, like, wow, this looks pretty legit. Um, the supporting cast as the antagonists, all the little gang of high school kids that were acting like little douches to Carrie. Yeah, they do a hell of a job because they're very believable. Like they're super annoying. You really hate them, and that's what they're supposed to be. You're supposed to hate them, and when she kills them, you don't care. You're rooting for her because they were douches the whole movie, and they deserve what they got. So they do an amazing job as the antagonist in this film. Old girl with the baseball cap annoyed the hell out of me, but that's a whole nother story. The flow of the movie, this Carrie movie is really, really good. Now I understand why a lot of films cut out different scenes of the movies, especially ones that are like tied in with books, because it might make the movie a little bit too long. But this movie flows very well. It flows so well that you get so engaged that before you know it, the movie's over. So, um, in all honesty, that's the way I'm ranking these movies. If you have a different order, go ahead and drop it in the comment section. But before you leave, don't forget to hit that share, that subscribe, that like button, all that. Until next time, this is Dave from the 80s, and you are now exiting the Cinema Chop Shop. Adios, have a great day, and